Hello, okay. Hi, everybody. Just give me a few seconds to set up. Let me try and unmute everybody. Okay. Just setting up first. Okay, hi, Vanessa. I'm trying to unmute you just to check if, okay, can you get me?
Yeah, I can get you.
All right, hi, welcome. Sorry, I was a bit disorganized. I just realized I know how to use Zoom, but I was using it on a different computer that had been set up for me, and I'm the one setting this one up. So I'm going to ask you if you are able to see this? Just tell me what you're seeing on your screen. What are you seeing on your screen?
Oh, this is when it started screen sharing, but it's black. Oh, I can see it now.
Okay, you can see get 20% trading bonus and all that?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I'm just setting up what we're going to be viewing. I don't know if we can give them maybe a minute or two to come in.
No problem. Plus, everyone's here. People are practicing Zambian time, eh?
Yes, they are. Okay, so I'm just trying to get the meeting controls. Let me just, oh, here it is. Okay, they have seen them. Yes, are you seeing this as well, this chart?
What?
I'm saying, are you seeing a chart here?
Yeah.
You can see the chart?
No, it's just, you know, the website.
Oh, okay. All right, so I need to, okay, all right, I've got it. I need to be changing. Okay, can you see the chart now? Hello?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so let's give it a minute. Let's give it a minute and okay. I'm just trying to see how many. Okay, another participant has come. Catherine, hi. Oh,
Hello.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you so much.
All right, so, all right. Okay. Hi, Evelyn. Okay, Evelyn is in. All right. So just give me a minute, then we can get started. Just give me a minute. Okay, I am back. I'll just ask if anyone can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, all right. So we're going to start. Now, I decided to do this because there have been a lot of people basically asking all the time how they can start trading. And it's really difficult to answer that because how do you explain this? Can you see the chart here? This is one of the trading platforms. There are multiple trading platforms. This is one of them. It's a platform called Xness. I'm going to leave a link for all these platforms. I'll send you a link later on, which also have an uploadable copy of the video. So, all right. So this is a chart. This is a chart from one of the platforms called Exness. It's one of the more complicated charts. It's really difficult to explain to people like this is what you're going to be using, and oh, this is another platform, one of the easiest platforms that you can use. And some people are interested in cryptocurrency. So here you can see all the cryptocurrencies, the price movements in a day. This one has moved 13.8% in a day. This one has moved only 0.26%. But when you read the newspapers, they're going to be writing about Bitcoin, that it's at an all-time high, but the price movement has only been 0.24%. Other people are interested in US shares and stocks. And here, most people are used to the Zambian stock market, where day to day, there's practically no price movement. So when you try to explain to somebody that a stock can move 8% up in a day or 8% down in a day, most of them will not be able to even imagine that, because they'll be thinking locally while their mind is trying to project that globally. So I'll use an example of some of the big risers. Have you seen this rising of 19.9%, 20% in just one day? And these are stocks and shares which we practically never hear of outside of the US. But there are people out there who are busy buying huge, huge sums. Then the other thing which people have been really, really interested in is how to trade cryptocurrencies. Now, this is the cryptocurrency platform, which is, I think, one of the most famous and biggest in the world. It's called Binance. So first, let me just log into it so that you can have a look. Okay, so Binance is okay, so this is the platform called Binance. I'm just signing into it. I hope you can still see the screen. Just give it a second. Okay. Okay, so internet seems to be a little bit slow. Okay, it has opened up. So this is the platform which, when the people want to trade cryptocurrency, this is a platform that is actually used. But it's really, really difficult to just tell anybody, like, go on this website and you can use it and be able to transact and all. Because within this platform here called Binance, there's what they call peer-to-peer trading, where you're buying and selling from other users. Like I can sell to you, you can sell to me, using multitude of platforms and payment options. You can deposit by bank deposit and buy for yourself, or sell to Binance and withdraw it to your bank. You can use your cards. You can use third-party platforms. So all of this is really, really difficult just to tell anybody who asks, how can I trade anything? All platforms have different interfaces. This one looks different from this one, which also looks different from, let me just go back to, which also looks different from this platform. So all these platforms have different looks, different feels, and it takes a bit of time to actually get to know that they all operate the same. So all these platforms, what happens is you're basically going to be a trader. And what you're going to be trading what you're going to be trading is the underlying instrument. Okay, so it doesn't matter whether it's cryptocurrency, it's shares, it's commodities, it's oil, it's currency, it's indexes. They're all going to follow the same principles and rules. They're going to be a trader. You're going to be trading the underlying instrument. The only things which you need is you need to have access to the markets. So you need to have access to the markets. Now, all of us here are in Zambia, in Africa. And you know, one of the main things about life and living in Zambia is that when you see some interesting or good platform online and you immediately say, let me open an account and see what it's all about. As soon as you go there, the first thing you see is that it's Zambia is not covered. It's not open to people outside of the US, UK, Australia, or any of those developed countries. And 99% of the people will just say, we can't access this, and they give up. But most will not know that for every platform which does not allow us to use, there are platforms that do allow us to use. We can use certain platforms that people in America can't use, and people in America can use certain platforms that we can't use. And there are always other platforms that are the convergence, which allow US platforms to deal with non-US platforms. Then one other thing which also needs to be known is your mindset. So are you a trader or investor? So the difference between the two, they both take speculative positions, but an investor is more glamorous and more loved than a trader. A trader is usually looked upon badly because they are technically more speculative in nature than an investor. An investor like Warren Buffett, he takes a gamble that this share price is going to move up over the next 10, 20 years, and he's got the money to wait. You know, he can wait 20 years for his investment in General Motors to pay off. Whereas a trader is more short-term. They've got a time frame, a short time frame. They want to make their money within minutes, within days, within months, or under a year in most cases. So that is one of the differences which you have to decide early on. Are you a trader looking for short-term gains, or are you an investor willing to wait for the long term? Imagine a person who, okay, coming back to this, imagine a person who imagine a person who invested in Bitcoin in the early days when it was just about 10 cents a Bitcoin. Right now it's $47,171 one Bitcoin. That's a few 100,000% growth, you know. The traders would have bought it at 10 cents and would have sold it maybe at 20 cents, $1 or $2. They would have come out, they would have been happy. An investor would have said, I think Bitcoin is going to be big in 10 or 20 years time. So let me hold on to these $20 or 20 cents worth of Bitcoin until it reaches, until 20 years from now, you know? So when you look at it, the guys who sold at 20 cents or $1, when you look at them, you'll be like, they lost out because they didn't wait. You know, if they had waited, they would have made all this money. But they made their money. Their target was to come out at 100% profit or 200% profit. They were happy. The investor wanted to wait for dear life, probably 20 years or so, to cash out. So there's nothing wrong with having either mindset. Okay, so what we are going to use is this platform here called iForex, okay? You'd all need to just open up an account with them. There's no need to deposit any money or do anything. once you've opened the account, request a demo account. So with a demo account, a demo account is where you're going to be able to try out your different investment strategies, buying strategies, selling strategies, and all sorts of strategies at no risk to your own money. Okay, demo accounts are free. There's not supposed to be any money put in. If you want to put in money, that will be your own matter. But a demo account is free to test out. It's one way you're going to be able to test out within this same platform here. You can test out currencies. In case you want to know, like, if I invest in pounds, dollars, or rands against another currency and I hold on to it for a while, will I be able to make my money back or not? You can invest in commodities. In case any of you are always reading the financial news, there's an explosion in an oil facility in Angola, and then you'll be like, oh, the price of oil is going to go up. This would be a good time. If I had money, I could buy and cash in, you know? So you can actually invest in all these commodities, from gold to copper to soya beans to corn. You can invest in all of these. Indices are, they are the average of all the shares in a particular category. Like, let's say Lusaka Stock Exchange, Luce Index, would be all the shares in Luce. Those which go up, those which go down, they're averaged out, and that growth or decline is what you are investing in, rather than investing in Chilanga Cement, CEC, or any of these things. You'd invest in the entire collective so that you get the average growth and not the growth of just one or two instruments. So here you've got US indices, Indian index, German index, UK, Japan. This VIX is a volatility index. It always moves against the US indices. If US indices are going up, VIX is going down. If VIX is going up, it means that US indexes is going down. So it's always moving in opposite. I highly recommend you do not ever try VIX. It is really, really not a good instrument to try out. You've also got the Brazil and a whole host of them. Once you open your account here, you can be able to check out all the particular indices that are in here. Then when it comes to shares, you've got a whole host of shares. You can look at shares by most popular, the hot, the risers, the fallers, the Americas, Mexico, and the US. Asia, you can look at Australian, Hong Kong, Indian, Japan, South Korean, and all these stocks. You can also look at European and Middle Eastern stocks. So depending on what time of the day it is, you can invest in a particular stock for a particular country. Just bear in mind that stocks are not 24 hours, so they do have normal operating times. You also have something called stock derivatives. This is a derivative is an instrument that is derived upon another underlying instrument. So you're not actually buying Tesla stock, but you're buying an instrument that is linked or tied to Tesla stock. So when Tesla stock goes up, this goes up. When Tesla stock goes down, this goes down. You're not entitled to dividends, or you don't really hold much of the risk that having stocks would actually hold, because you are investing in the underlying instrument. Then you also have ETFs, and ETFs are, they are more like indices, but linked to particular commodities or sectors. Like junior gold miners, it's just gold mining indices, you know, gold mines and the likes. Global cannabis is now legal in many, many countries. So you are able to invest in cannabis as a sector. Global blockchain, this is something to do with cryptocurrencies. So you've got all of these. Then you also have the cryptocurrencies. So cryptocurrencies, these are all the ones that people are really, really interested in. With cryptocurrency, there's a lot of misinformation and a lot of disinformation. So at the end of the day, we get a lot of discouragements about them, and we get a lot of encouragements about them at the same time. So you really, really need to use some discretion, some of your own discretion and common sense when trying to deal with cryptocurrencies. They can move in spectacular fashion. Bitcoin, it had touched as low as $3,000 last year, and now it's at $47,000. That's a huge, huge gain. This one, Ripple, at one point that dropped to 0.15, then it shot up to 0.75, then it dropped down to 0.39. Now it's back up again. So there's all these insane price movements that can catch you blindsided. So with iForex, you are able to monitor and observe all the instruments in a simple, logical manner. That's why I do recommend it. Don't deposit money until you have actually set up your account and you've had a look at all these platforms and your demo account has been set up. So I'm not saying go in and test with real money. The use of this iForex platform is so that you can monitor all the instruments that are here. It's everything that people ask me about. They are all found within this platform. I don't know if let me take in a few questions. Does anyone have any questions? Let me just ask. Any questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Yeah, could you explain the underlying, like, I didn't quite get what indices are actually.
Okay, indices, all right. Okay, so I go back to indices, all right. Any other questions?
I just, hi there, it's Kate. I just wanted to find out how secure is a site like iForex for people who do not live in a country mentioned on their site?
Okay, and any other question? Okay, so the first thing I will answer is if you're not, if by nationality or location you're not allowed to use this site, what you should know is that there are going to be other websites that you can use. There are hundreds of sites like iForex which you can use. This one here, just a second. Okay, this website and platform, although it looks totally different from the iForex one, they actually do use the same instruments that iForex does. If I right click here under symbols, you're going to see that there's all these, this is just on currencies alone. There's all these foreign currency, Forex indicators, crypto group, although it has got a smaller list of cryptocurrencies you can monitor or trade here. And even the stocks, there's a whole list of stocks you can trade here. So with e-commerce, you always have alternatives. If you can't use one because of your nationality, you can always look for another one which does accept your nationality or your location. The only countries which are really, really hit hard are countries like Yemen because of the wars and all the sanctions, Iran, North Korea. Those three, there's not a platform on earth that will actually take you. There you really, really have to jump through hoops. In Africa, there are countries like Nigeria because of serious exchange rate or exchange restrictions, and Zimbabwe because of the currency issues. But most of the other African countries, you can be able to register, except I think Democratic Republic of Congo. If anyone does have a problem registering an account here and or setting up a demo account, let me know so that I can check what nationality or country you're in, and I can recommend an alternative. So now when it comes to indices, I think this is the question that was asked. So indices, okay, let me just come here first. Let me go, I'm going to show you the UK stock, all the UK shares which are available. Okay, so if you look at all the UK shares, you see that there have been rises. The reds are drop in price, which is a loss. The greens are rise in price, which is a gain for shareholders. So when you go through all of these, you see that there are a number of reds and a number of greens. So if you were an investor wanting to invest in this market, you are not sure which shares are going to go up or which ones are going to go down, but you want to invest in the market. So you can either try to buy shares in all of them and average it out, or you can buy an index share. An index share is just what I just described. They have shares in all the companies listed in their category. If it's a stock, if it's an index linked to the entire stock exchange, so it's all the shares in that index, I mean in that stock exchange, the risers and the losers, the gains and the losses, they are all averaged out, you know, and if it goes up, you gain. If it goes down, you go into loss. So it's basically you averaging out your investment in a particular stock exchange or a particular sector or segment of that stock exchange. The US has got many. They've got a tech index. So there are all those tech companies that are basically listed. So this is just tech companies. You won't find any food processors or the likes. US 30, this is some of the big companies in the US. You've got the NASDAQ as well. And the FANG is Facebook, Apple, Netflix, Google. So this is just the average of these 4 particular shares. In case you are interested in any of those companies or all of those companies, and you want to get the average gains or losses in as they move. So we'll try and cover this one a little bit more in more detail in the next, on Monday's lessons. Let me just check any more questions before I, oops, sorry. Oh. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, sorry about that. I think I'd accidentally stopped the share. Any questions before I try to, we're all okay? All right. So we also need to touch on cryptocurrency. Yeah? The Binance, we're going to touch cryptocurrency on Monday. I think there was a request for Ethereum. Then somebody did ask for Ripple. No one has asked for Bitcoin. So Monday, we're going to come in and we're going to buy Ethereum, and we're also going to buy Ripple. We're going to buy them using 2 different methods, card deposit, as well as using another cryptocurrency to buy another cryptocurrency. So we're going to use USDT or Tether to buy other cryptocurrencies. And then we're also going to try to go here under peer-to-peer trading, which is where you as an individual or as a person, basically, you can be able to trade with other users around the world. You can buy cheap. Like let's say you've got a bank account in Zimbabwe or Nigeria, and your people that side want to buy cryptocurrency, but they can't buy it locally, but you are able to buy cryptocurrency because you're in Zambia, and then you can sell it to them and they just pay into your bank account there. So that's what peer-to-peer trading is. It's just ordinary people buying and selling from each other or trading from each other. Those who can buy cheap elsewhere, selling higher to people who are able to buy higher elsewhere. And also those who maybe they just need the money paid off in a certain platform, they can come here, look for someone who has that particular platform to pay them, and you do an exchange. So it's like you're going to City Market to negotiate with the traders there. So this is like just a market in general. I think okay, so any questions? All right. So what I would need from all of you or any of you is I would need you to just, from all the markets that I've mentioned, which are available, you can take a look here. You can take a look at all these. There's currencies, commodities, indices, shares, stock derivatives, ETFs, crypto. From all of these that are available to us, I just want you to let me know which ones you want us to cover in greater detail on Monday's meeting, so that at least I can prepare in advance in case someone is interested in Facebook shares or Google or Amazon or any US company you can think of. You can let me know. Okay. All right. Okay, we can looks like Zoom has given us an extended time, so we can continue a little bit. So in case you're interested in any particular company, no matter how obscure, you can let me know so that I can at least prepare my notes in advance so that we can look at that particular instrument. If it's cryptocurrencies, I know Kate has already asked for Ethereum, and I think one other gentleman who's going to view the recorded video, he has asked about Ripple. So I just need to know what you want. I don't want to teach you guys what I know. I want to teach you guys what you want to know, because when you go out there, you need to be able to make informed decisions without having to always be relying on notes or reviewing things over and over and over again. So we've got a little bit of extended time, so I can take in any recommendations on what you want us to cover in the next 15 minutes. So anybody? Okay, or should I? Sorry, you can go ahead.
Is that me? I was just going to ask. I'm interested in understanding more on commodities.
Okay, on commodities.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Any particular one, oil or any particular commodity? Let me just come here.
I'd actually be interested. Is copper on the list?
Okay. Is which one?
Copper.
Oh, copper is on the list. It's right here.
I see it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess commodities in general, I wouldn't even mind, like, something like gold, which is pretty stable. Yeah, just to understand how it works, because that's like it's easy to understand what happens when something like copper or oil or even gold is trending in the news and how that affects the market.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is let me deposit some funds. Let me deposit some funds so that we've got some money to play around with. So depositing money in any of these platforms, it's usually straightforward. It's usually straightforward. You've got there are usually 3 or 4 deposit options. You've got credit or debit cards. You've got e-wallets, which are platforms like Skrill, NetTeller, WebMoney, Perfect Money, Advanced Cash. There's a whole host. Then you've also got bank wire transfer. Just hold a second. Okay, so you've also got international bank wire transfer. Bank transfers from Africa are extremely expensive, so I highly do not recommend this one. By debit card, they are practically free. By e-wallet, there's a small 1.45% fee for depositing. So I've got about $90 in my US dollar, my UBA card. So I'm just going to deposit. This is the UBA card. Right. So sorry about this. Zamtel internet seems to be really slow today. Okay, so all you need to do on depositing is enter in a CVV. I'll enter it off screen. I'll enter that one off screen. And you enter in the amount that you are depositing. So my card is already linked to this. So it's a usual card setup. Enter in your card number, the expiry date, your address, and all that. And it should be in your name. You can only deposit into your own account. I can't deposit into a third-party account. So once you click on deposit, this is using the UBA prepaid AfriCard. So my deposit is in, and I've got $90 in. So I have been following the news, and I know or believe that oil and natural gas are going to come down. So I can take some positions. Always follow the news. I'll leave you the news, the preferred news sites. Although this one, the market does anticipate it rising further, I'm of the view that it's actually going to drop. I'm going to take a small position. You can change your position sizes here. The minimum is 16 contracts. The maximum, this is leverage trading. So for every $1 you have, you can trade $40 times 40. I'll explain how that one works in greater detail. So with $10, I can trade $941 worth of oil. But I like to work with round figures. So I'm expecting it to drop. So I'm going to sell. I can set a take profit. I mean, a stop loss is where I'm telling it that my loss should not exceed $50. And the take profit is where I'm telling it that if my profit target is reached, it should close me out. So 4.22% profit, or so 4.22% loss. Once I hit the deal, it's done. And whenever you do any deal, you automatically go into loss, because this is like if you go to a bureau to buy dollars, you go to a bureau to buy dollars, but when you get there, you immediately buy the $1. If you need to sell it back to the bureau, it's going to be at a loss unless the rate goes up. At which point you'll be in profit. So this is normal. Then I'm also going to come here to natural gas. So again, here with natural gas, okay, with natural gas, I'm going to go for a 350 MMBTUs, and I'm going to set my take profit at $50. Sorry, my stop loss, sorry, at $50. and my take profit. It's nothing like what you've seen. I don't know if you have ever seen those expert option ads on YouTube. This is nothing like that. Those ads, I've never used expert option, but they don't make any sense even to me. All right, so I've done 2 trades and automatically they've both gone into loss for the simple reason that there's the buying price and the selling price, there's a difference. If you sell and you want to buy back, yeah, it will be at a loss unless this price has dropped significantly or shot up significantly. So always bear that in mind, that this one has already gone into profit. It doesn't always go like this. Sometimes your loss can stay for days, weeks, or even months. So this is just that I expected the market to drop, so it has started dropping and it's going into profit, $1.96. This one is still remaining in a loss at 0.88. The price is always fluctuating, guys. So bear that in mind, that prices always fluctuate because the market is in a constant state of flux. So if you want to know more about any particular instrument, simply just click on it here. And it's going to give you all this. You've got the chart. Please forgive my Zamtel internet. It has really, really been slow. And I'm just, okay. So when you've got a chart, you've got a time frame here, 1 minute. The 1 minute time frame is really, really bad because it doesn't show an honest picture. Always try to go for maybe a 30-minute window. 30 minutes will give you for the past, from 8th February up to 13th February. You have seen how the price has moved. It has moved from 1,811. It has gone as high as 1,856. And it has now come back down to 1,830, which is higher than the low it had touched of 1,811. This is if you are viewing a 30-minute chart. If you are viewing a 1 minute chart, you won't be able to see the underlying trend. All you're going to see is just how it has moved in the space of a few minutes. So this is very, very deceptive. So whenever you're viewing charts, always try to view the longer periods, usually 30 minutes and above. An hour will even give you a better glimpse of how the market is moving. So you have seen that gold has touched a low of 1,785 in the past 1 month, and it's been at a high of 1,864. So you're able to sort of map your own strategy better. Here under market info, it's going to tell you, oh, yes, you can.
Yeah, I wanted to find out on the chart. Looking at it from, like, let's say a month prior, be useful as well, or you have to stay like within like a certain recent amount of time?
Let me use a better chart. This app here gives a better chart. Just a second. Okay, so this one gives a better chart. Can I move this out of? Okay, so here, are you all able to see this chart? Okay, so this is in the platform MT4. It's a little bit more complex than the iForex chart, but here you are able to. Okay, so just 1 second. I think my chart properties have sort of gone. Okay. Okay, this chart is a little bit, so I need to reset this thing. I'm just trying to, this is a longer period. Huh? This one is from 13th January all the way to 11th February, which is an entire month. So if you are using just a short-term chart, you know, you just come in here on 4th February, the chart has been upward. So as you are analyzing this, you're going to say, okay, this is going up, it can only go higher. But if you go to a longer term chart, you'll be able to see that almost a month ago, it was at the same price. It had also gone higher. Then it dropped significantly, went higher, then dropped significantly, then has started going upwards. So you are able to better tell what the trends have been. At this point here, up to here, the trend had been what you can call sideways. It goes up, comes down, goes up, comes down, goes up, comes down within a particular range. You could have even been trading blindly. You know, at any point you could have said, let me buy or let me sell, and you'd have gone into profit up to this point here. Then at this point, the market was severely shook. It dropped significantly, rose significantly, dropped spectacularly, and has been rising spectacularly. So the longer the time frame of the chart, the more informed decision you can make. So always, you can always use a short-term chart, but always also mix it with a long-term chart. So if you're going here to just bear in mind that when you pick the longer period you pick, the more backwards in time the chart is going to go. So as you go back in time, you won't be able to now see what news factor had affected the price to make it drop spectacularly here and then to make it rise again here. So you should always mix. My recommendation, look at the short-term chart, which is a minute, mix it with a 30-minute chart, and then you can also go for longer chart periods, just so that you have an overview. You don't even need to be a mathematical genius or anything, but you'll be able to observe a trend. You know, you'll be able to see like, okay, this particular instrument, it rises and drops, or this particular instrument only ever rises, or this particular instrument only ever drops, you know. And with on that point, you'll be able to make at least some, you can even go trade blindly, you know, you can just say like, I am reasonable certain that even if I sell now, I will be able to recover my money at some point in time. Have I answered that one? Hello?
Yes, very nice.
All right, thanks. Okay, so the next app is market info. So on all the instruments in this platform, you're going to have these options. Under market info, you're going to have the market sentiment. So imagine there are 1,000 people having accounts here. What are they doing? So this one tells us that the majority of people believe the price is going to go up and they have been buying. Then a minority, 26%, believe it's going to drop. They have been selling. So it happens that sometimes the majority is wrong, the minority is right. Other times it happens the opposite. The minority is wrong, the majority is right. So always take these with a pinch of salt and do some further analysis. Sometimes the majority is wrong, sometimes they're right. It also shows you what the previous close was, because the markets do close. Depending on the instrument, it will close either at midnight or 17 hours, 21 hours. It all depends on the instrument. So this one, it closed at 1,825. Then it opened at 1,825. So there was no movement between market open and market close. The average change in price has been 0.1%. Oh, sorry, 0.01%, which is not much. The change in price has been 51 cents. So it's always changing. Then today's high has been 1,830, and today's low has been 1,810. So you can automatically see that it has been range bound, moving within a particular range. So here you would be able to get to know some of these short-term, once you've done a little bit of using this, you'll be able to know the short-term, the medium-term, and the long-term volatility, how it has moved and all. Something like a number line. In case, I hope you all remember your number lines. I don't remember it, but this is like a number line. So you can always tell a bit of information from it. Then economic calendar. Economic calendar is our friends in the developed countries. They don't just go and announce statistics anyhow. You know, they're at a rally in Chiwolia, then they'll be like, inflation is 2%. You know, these people, they time it. You know, they have got a chart, a timetable to say on such a day, at such a time, we're going to release inflation statistics. Such a day, such a time, we're going to release employment figures, the GDP, GNP. So you can be able to check the calendar here. And if you click on the plus, it will expand and tell you what this particular statistic is, its significance to the market, and all. So it also shows you what the previous was, what the forecast. These people always try to forecast where the economy is going. So when the actual comes out, if it's worse than forecasted, it's usually bad for the currency. If it's better than forecasted, it's good for the currency or the instrument. So, but always also take it with a pinch of salt, because sometimes the market moves in illogical manners. Bad news makes the market move up before it comes down. So always take these stats and figures with a pinch of salt, because the market can react in an opposite of where it's supposed to go. Now, signals is where AI comes in. You know, it sort of detects from the price movements and all. It's going to tell you that we expect the market to go up and touch as high as 1,847. You know, so these AIs do this without factoring in news, because a lot of news can affect the market conditions. You know, you find that a ship is found with $23 billion worth of gold, which they're going to offload on the market. You know, so all sorts of events and global news affect these. But all things being equal, the AI is usually correct. Not all the time, but usually. Other times it's going to tell you that it expects it to drop. So you can either enter the market following this advice, or my most recommended is follow the chart, the economic calendar, and use your own discretion. Then one of the most important things you need to check is instrument information. This is where you're going to find information like the value of 1 pip. 1 pip is the smallest unit of the particular instrument. It can be 4 decimal places, or it can be 2 decimal places, or it can be a round figure. So the 1 pip is the smallest unit of that. Worth of 1 pip, it means that 1 pip is worth 1 cent. So if it goes up by 10 pips, your profit will be 10 cents. If it goes down by 10 pips, your loss will be 10 cents. So you can always calculate your profit and loss using pips. The required margin, this is like how much you need to make one trade. So you need 0.5% of what you're trading to trade. So if you've got $1, $1 would be 0.5% of what? Should be something like $50 or $500. I need to do my mathematics, but that's the margin. The off hours required margin, when the market is closed, they raise the margin so that they can cover any eventuality. Then the maximum leverage, this is the maximum you can trade. For every $1 you have, you can trade $200 worth of any instrument, or in this case, gold. The minimum amount in ounces is 0.8. The maximum amount in ounces is 540 ounces. So 1 ounce is worth, I think, is it about 1,000? And my mathematics has gone here. I will lie on that. Then here you've got trading hours. So it opens on Sunday, 2301. This is GMT. So this is 0001, sorry, 0101 Zambian time. And it closes on Friday, 21 hours, which is 23 hours Zambian time. And they go for a daily break at 23:59 to 0101 every day. Then you also have here some of these other statistics which will also affect. So I think our time is even almost up. Any other questions before we round up for the day? Any questions? Okay. All right. Oh, yes, yes, Vanessa.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. A few of the things that you've talked about, I need to review them. But mainly, since our time is running out, I was hoping that you might also look into the tech companies of the US.
Okay, so tech companies of the US. So let me just take note here. So tech companies of the US, and also I was asked about Ethereum, and also indices and commodities. So I can prepare for Monday for these topics. Any other thing which you'd want me to prepare for Monday?
Out of interest, Molanda, do you have a lesson plan? Because what we could do is like read ahead and prepare questions.
Okay. Yes, I do have a lesson plan. What I wanted to find out first was who was going to attend, because the requests I was getting, they are really, really wide. Everything from cryptocurrency to commodities and even some other special instruments. So I wanted just to find out, to get a feel from the people, what exactly I should cover in greater detail and all. So I'm going to release because it's a 20-day program. So I'm going to release on the website, which I'm going to email you. I'll release the plan. I also put in where you can make requests for what needs to be covered. Anybody who needs something to be covered again, can also mention it there. So there is going to be a plan, but I just needed to know first beforehand what people really wanted to cover, whether a larger focus on cryptocurrencies or shares. Then the commodities, since it has also been mentioned, I also put in enough time into that. But then if you look at the market has gone against me. So unlike the expert option ads, with these ones, once the market has gone against you, you've got two options. You can either close it out. You can close it out, wait for your stop loss to be hit, or just wait it out for it to get back into profit and then close it out. So there are always some options which you can take. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, so thank you all for taking part, and thank you for taking part, and thank you for asking the questions which I am going to cover. Any feedback, you can give me feedback in confidence, positive or negative. The whole aim of this is I just want to share whatever information and knowledge I have. I will also learn a little bit from you, because sometimes, you know, you can be focusing on one particular aspect and always forget about certain other aspects. But when someone does ask you to cover something which you had overlooked. It does help with the memory and the research and all. So I'm going to email you the link for where all the information will be shared, and I look forward to seeing you on Monday. In case you miss any lesson, the videos will be uploaded on the website. I'm going to share the link as well. So I shall see you all on Monday. Bye. All right.